books coming out in March. Next up, we have Midnight on the Celestial that comes out March 3rd. So she is a powerful spirit summoner that ends up failing her magic test. Because of this, she does not end up to keep her like gifts, and she has to go and like serve abroad the Celestial, which is kind of like this magical cruise ship that her family kind of owns. And all of this is because if she wants to get a retrial, she has to kind of serve. By day, she's kind of navigating normal work life of dealing with supervisors and customers and things like that. But by night, the ship kind of becomes this like nightmare-filled labyrinth where staff end up vanishing and there's like darkness beyond each corner. She is fighting to survive, trying to uncover all of these like deadly secrets that the ship holds, and she's wanting to earn back her magic. So she's starting to question who she can trust and like what's really with her family and why do they own this ship. Next up, we have If We Never End that comes out March 3rd. Sylvie expects a quiet summer with her aunt in rural Oregon, although she ends up finding this like vintage gold watch at this antique shop and ends up summoning a teenage boy named Penn. Penn is tied to this watch with like no memories of his life or his death, and Sylvie kind of promises him that she's going to uncover his truth of like what happened with him and his life. This kind of leads both of these two kind of going on adventures together, road trips, bonfires, and having to come with the terms that eventually they're going to have to say goodbye. And obviously she's probably not going to be able to explore more with Penn because he is a ghost. We have The Okays Are Not Okay that comes out March 3rd. This book very much gives Schitt's Creek to me. We follow Elena Okay, who is like this Los Angeles like influencer, and her life ends up falling apart when her family's like fast fashion empire ends up going bankrupt overnight. So her family's forced to leave LA. And where do they go? A rural farming town in California. So they're adjusting to this like small town life, trying to reconnect with their Korean heritage. With everything going on with her family and like a huge culture shock, Elena's like business savvy part of her personality kind of is helping out the small town in a way. And she kind of begins to rethink like her family's success and like what all happened. Next, we have The Heiress of Nowhere that comes out March 17th. This is set in 1918 on Orcas Island in Washington. We're following an orphan named Lucy, who has spent most of her life working with this very like eccentric shipbuilder who basically raised her. She dreams of leaving for college, but her plans of going to college kind of get shattered. She ends up discovering her like adopted dad's severed head on the beach and finding out that she is somehow an heir of his family. So there's also like some sea wolves or sea spirits in this book that are kind of surrounding her. She's met with a lot of danger now because everyone kind of suspects that she's a part of this weird family. She's trying to find who the real killer is, or maybe she might become the next victim. And lastly, we have We're a Bad Idea Right that comes out March 31st. Audrey, goody two-shoes, always follows rules. She wants to get into like glass blowing, but her family is like, no, you're not doing that. Her best friend, Henry, basically decides that they should fake date so that he could kind of like get back at his ex.